You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Liverpool fans, listen up. This is something for you.
So, we are sponsored by Foco, manufacturing much better toys than what Liverpool are performances at the moment. But as you can see, if you want to support your team in a very fun and glorious way by having these cool little ornaments and toys, or if you have a family member or friends who are Liverpool crazy, this is the perfect gift for them.
Water bottles, nodding heads, dogs, we've got it all.
Hier again, lad, next to me bed.
Make sure to use the link in the description now. Head over to Foco and use the Kop TV discount code to get 15% off. You can't go wrong. You need Foco in your life.
Right, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the Kop TV and welcome to another episode of what we like to call Hot Kopics. I'm by myself. I'm fully alone, which is devastating. I'm not alone because I'm with you guys, but I'm by myself in a sense that there's no Alex, there's no Ruby, there's no Mario. This is a pure solo stream between me, James, Redmondinho, and you, the viewers. But let's give a shout out to my man Jacob, who's doing all the editing and whatnot, keeping me a little bit of company, which is belter. Yeah, mate, we're going to have a great show. We're going to touch on Liverpool's season so far. We're going to give a little bit of a prediction when it comes to the World Cup and a few other juicy topics in the process. I see that Tammy is already in the comments. Tammy, you are a hero, and I really appreciate you tuning in. Same goes with everyone. First of all, people, if you guys can smash a like, that does more than you think. It gets the stream out there more, gets it more into the algorithm, and if you subscribe, that means a lot as well, because we're trying to get a plaque on this YouTube channel, you know what I mean, people? But as I am a great host individually, I don't forget my sponsors, so shout out to Flux. Obviously, Flux, I've got the cap on right here, been keeping me company in the times where it don't have a decent enough trim, let's be real. Therefore, it's really sorting me out. And not only have they got good caps, I haven't got the examples right now, but they've also got great t-shirts, they've got great shorts, really good clobber coming out for the winter as well. So if you do want to get warmed up and, you know, just nice and cozy for the winter in some comfortable clobber, I know that a lot of people who watch this channel, they like to train and stuff like that, and that's certainly the club to go with. It's very cultural within the city now as well, which I think is their boss. They're getting a lot of YouTubers, not just YouTubers, but even MMA fighters, Paddy the Bad, Molly Meatball, really one of the top brands at the moment. So go click the link in the description, use Kop TV, 15% at discount, just to let them know that you came from us. But anyway, shout out to Flux. Where do we start? I think we start in a premise of Liverpool's season so far. Now, the reason why I like having Mario here and Alex here is on the premise that they get to spout shit and I can just simply tell them what's the score. And the score in this instance is, I think they would be saying, yeah, man, it'd be all right by now. And yeah, I thought we were going to be worse at this point. And Mario would be there like, yes, brother, we smashed it in the last 8 games. We smashed it. You're on that though, Jacob, the way Mario would just be buzzing. So Mario would be happy. Jacob, I think the one person who wouldn't is Ruby. I think Ruby would be on the same page as me in an element that I think she's realistic with everything that's been going on at the moment. I think she's realistic when it comes to the expectations, readjusting those expectations. And in my instance and my perspective, I genuinely think Liverpool have just not been good enough this season for a multitude of reasons. You can put that to the injuries. You can put that to the congestion of games, which other teams have had, so it's not a great excuse. But I will agree on the premise that I thought we were going to be lower in the table at this point than what we are now. So I think that's at least the positive that we can take, because if we don't get loads of injuries in the upcoming weeks during the World Cup and everyone stays custody and sound, happy days. Very happy days, because that means we're doing stuff right. And that means that we can actually go into the second half of the season with the Luis Diaz's, with the Diogo Jotas, and hopefully thrive. Because I think that missing them two in the last couple of games probably stopped it from being, what was it, like eight wins in the last 10 games into 9 wins or 10 wins. And it really pushes us into those top 4 conversations. And I just think that's what Liverpool needs in the short term. Sorry for the gaps in silence, guys, because whenever I have a sip of water, I haven't got Alex or Mario to piss me off while I'm talking. Make sure that you smash those likes as well. Shout out to Shanley up the Reds. And guys, if you've got any questions of any sort, then please do get them in the comments down below. But yeah, to summarise the season, I'm going to give it like a sort of rating out of 10. Let me know what you think you'd rate the season so far. I'm going to say, at the start of the season, I predicted us to finish second behind Man City. And then as the season went by 5-6 games, I thought we'd be doing really, really well to get top 4 at this moment, because I just think we were just that inconsistent. It was hard for me to see a light at the end of the tunnel, to be dead honest with you. And I think with that light at the end of the tunnel being so dim, I just didn't see us really being even in the conversation. The fact we're in the conversation is what makes me give this season so far a 6.5 out of 10, which a lot of people will probably say, James, that's dead high for the fact that we're like 6th. But I'm not really too sure. I think that's fine. I think that's okay. It's something to build on. And I think you can afford to have one bad season, especially when you're at the start of that rebuilding process. A point that I've made on every single show is that the best players this season has not been, your Virgils and even Mohamed Salah, who's done better over recent weeks. I think the best players has been very easily Nates when he stepped in. I think Joe Gomez has had a few star performances. Shimikas when he's played left back. Harvey Elliott in the midfield. Nunes, who ends up scoring some goals towards the end. And I think, by the way, on the Nunes thing, I always knew Nunes was going to score goals. I always said that. It was just the all-round play I didn't think was good enough to get us to league titles. But for the current circumstances, chat, I think Nunes is good enough. Just for the current circumstances, but I think if we're trying to get back to 100 points and whatever, that's when I'll say I don't know if Nunes is going to be a man, but he might be, because he might just get 30 to 40 goals. My premise is I just don't think you need 2 outlets, and we've already got Salah. I don't know why we got Nunes, but he's starting to prove why we signed him, and that is because he's a goal machine. He's someone who's there in the right moments, and I will accept a bit of defeat when it comes to his technical ability, because even though I still don't think it's great, I think I probably made it sound worse than what it actually was. So you can see that I'm a very fair man when it comes to accepting that I'm wrong in these instances. But yeah, man, Nunes sound, Kanate sound, Shimikas sound. The underperformers of the season so far, I don't know how I never mentioned Alisson, by the way. Bobby Firmino as well. 2 of the main players when it comes to actually stepping up and being the experienced players who are showing that they've still got a position in this team. Virgil van Dijk, I think, has been a massive underperformer, purely based on the standards that he set for himself. It's not even like a terrible thing. It's not that I'm saying he's shit. It's not that I'm saying he needs to be sold. I'm just simply saying that Virgil van Dijk has most certainly underperformed this season so far. Trent 100% has to be in that conversation as well. It's tough for players like Thiago and stuff like that. I think the most underperforming is Fabinho, Virg, Trent. Salah would have been in there, but he clawed it back for me. So I'll go with Henderson, Fabinho. I think Henderson hasn't even been great. I think that's another one that you can really talk about as someone who's been quite questionable. So again, let me know what you all think in the comments down below. I want to answer a question about one of the other players who's not been informed recently and about his position in the England squad, because Trent Alexander-Arnold has been, of course, called up to the England squad, but not necessarily being given much opportunity yet. We've only played 1 game against Iran, but then when USA comes, Wales and stuff like that, will he get given more games? That's the question I have to ask myself, because I don't know if he will, chat. And I think, and the question is, does he deserve more games? Does he deserve more game time? I don't know if he does. But anyway, let's read a little bit of Twitter, because the comments aren't that active at the second, but we have got another one there, though. I can't read from here. I'll read that in a sec. In the last week, Pickford made... Oh, no, that's Pickford. Right, let me have a look. So, yeah, Trent done an interview, and it was... This is what I was trying to find. Trent done an interview the other day, and he was like, listen, I can be a game changer for England. I can be someone who comes on, wins the game, puts a ball into the box to Harry Kane. He gets it on his fucking noggin, and then hopefully we get the 3 points or we qualify to the next round. And I think that is Trent's role in this World Cup. And what defines a good World Cup for Trent Alexander-Arnold for me is everything, just a moment of brilliance, whether it's 1 assist or, like, say if he gets an assist in the semi-finals, that's a good World Cup for Trent, because a lot of World Cups are built on moments. So, like, you think of Pele, he got many moments years and years ago. The last person to score against Wales, by the way, shout out to Pele, and then Weah scored. That's purely due to how shit Wales are. Anyway, I think World Cup's on moments. Trent can give you those moments. He only needs to come off the bench for those moments. Therefore, to answer the question, should he start for England? I don't think right now he should. I think a season ago, yes. 2 seasons ago, yes. But if he weren't starting in the England team then, how can he be starting in the England team now? It just makes no sense. That's just my sort of look on a chat. But anyway, let's see what a few of you are saying on the comment section of the YouTube channel. Make sure you smash a like as well, by the way, team. That'd be absolutely boss. Now that Ramsey is back, do you think they'll start working Trent into midfield? Ed, it's a good question, but nah. I don't see a world where Trent and Ramsey. Here's the thing, right? Let me just do this because I'm sharing the stream again. We've only got 9 people in here, which is devastating because that means that the chat aren't going to be booming. So I've got to try and leg it by myself. But,
including me, James.
Including you. But the thing about Ramsey is I like Ramsey. I think he'll end up being a good player. It's just I don't see the opportunity where he comes in at right back. I just don't see that chance. I think Ramsey's one of those, I like him. I think he's a great player, but I just think Trent is that right back. And you ask about moving Trent into midfield. That has never happened before. In all the times where we've had Klein and stuff like that, we never tried to use Trent as a midfielder. And maybe, call me stupid, call me high on crack cocaine, I just genuinely believe that's because Klopp doesn't like him as a midfielder. I don't think that's a mad premise. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think Klopp sees him as a better right back in this Liverpool system opposed to anyone else. Like Calvin Ramsey is solid, but I believe what Calvin Ramsey is kind of like a Nico Williams 2.0. We develop him a little bit. He comes into the first team. He has a role to play, and then we sell him for 15, 20 million or however much at the time. And then from there, Trent will continue to play right back. So that's the way I see it. But again, if Calvin Ramsey really is good enough, hopefully Jurgen Klopp won't go with favoritism, which he's been labelled to do in the past, and he'll actually go with the player who's playing better. But from my perspective, I really, really like the look of Adam Ramsey. Is that me? Yeah, your helmet. What are you on about, Alex? You little tit. Why is he chatting shit in the comments? He's doing it even when he's not on the stream, Jacob. Get your hot Kopics in now, people. 100%. Everyone watching Argentina, that Argentina playing, that's probably a big reason why people aren't tuning in as much, because the World Cup's on. By the way, speaking of the World Cup, very sound so far. Very, very happy with the way the World Cup's gone. For those who subscribe to James Redmond TV, you know I've had like a little week and a half off YouTube. I thought I'd take the opportunity with the World Cup because we never had a break at all in the last spell of games. We're not going to be getting another one when we get back from football. So I thought, you know what, this is me one opportunity to not overdo myself and overwork myself and just do content for the sake of it. Plus, I just wanted to enjoy the World Cup. I'm a massive World Cup fan. I love the World Cup. I think the energy around the World Cup is what's like. I was watching the Ecuador game and the Ecuador-Qatar game the other day. Like, whoa, like this is boss. You know what I mean? And these are shit teams. But Enner Valencia, for one time, only turns into prime Brazilian Ronaldo. And that's what the World Cup gives you. These players that you haven't saw for 4, 5, 6 years, you just see them come out the blue. The Ochoas, the Enner Valencias, you know, even like Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey is like diabolically shit now. And he went to Rangers and he missed a penalty in the Europa League final, but he's still starting for Wales on a game-to-game basis. And it's funny, you know, because they've got Ramsey, they've got Joe Allen. Shout out to Nico Williams, by the way. What a legend Nico Williams is. God bless him as well. Rest in peace to his granddad, first and foremost. He said that he was crying all day leading towards the game, and for him to then salvage a point, well, not him directly, it was Bale who scored the pen, but for him to be a part of the team that salvaged the point in the first World Cup game in God knows how long, just that's huge, that's massive. And I'm not going to lie, that's my best moment of the World Cup so far, Bale getting that equaliser. By the way, chat, quick question, I think this is a good one. Do you think Gareth Bale is the greatest British player of all time? Someone brought it up on Twitter yesterday, and I think it's a conversation you can have. If you ask for my personal greatest British player of all time, I suggest Kenny Dalglish, I suggest Steven Gerrard, What I don't suggest is Gareth Bale being above those two. But when you're thinking about everyone else, you've got Wayne Rooney. I'd probably edge Wayne Rooney just based on that consistency of how much I watched them. Bale's got massive moments. At Real Madrid, I just don't think he played consistent enough to really say, okay, we're going to be definitely. Oh, I've got something in my face there. I think it was hanging on to me cap. But I don't think Bale has got that game in, game out at Real Madrid to where he can say, oh, yeah, maybe he did. But from what I know and my knowledge of not watching Real Madrid in La Liga week in, week out is Bale didn't play every week. He had a few fallings out with the managers and he only really turns up when he played for Wales. But he has got the Champions League final goal against us. I think it's a shout. But let me know what you all think in the comments down below. But what's your favourite moment of the World Cup as well so far, by the way, chat? Because I think that's also a really interesting question. Rooney only scored one World Cup goal. Chat, do you know what I don't like? I hate this actually. I don't like, and I don't like this a lot, is the idea of Rooney and Saka being compared off the one game. Rooney getting one goal in the World Cup in his career, yes, that is a massive underachievement. Isn't Wayne Rooney like nearly a top goal scorer for England, or am I just thinking? Either way, mad. When you're comparing them to Saka getting 2 goals against Iran, no, that's where I clock out immensely. Don't let's not make these silly comparisons which are idealistic for the conversation of which you are talking about. And that's why I think Rooney getting 1 goal in the World Cup is not great for Rooney, but it should not be compared to Bukayo Saka getting 2 goals against Iran. It's just not, and Saka will probably get more World Cup goals. I don't even think that's a bad thing to say. I just think making those stupid, silly little comparisons is crazy to me. That sip was Red Bull sponsorship worthy. It was, weren't it? That was a belter, that, mate. Red Bull, get on me if you need to.
Product placement.
Even though, I don't know how many of them you need to drink before you get a heart attack or something mad to happen to you, you know what I mean? But they're nice, though, lads, and they sort you out. They get the job done until all in due course. Jude Bellingham, what a goal for him. I'll be honest, I never tuned into the England game. I watched the highlights. I've watched the USA-Wales game, the Qatar-Ecuador game, Netherlands-Senegal. They're the games I've watched so far. England was too early for me, chat. I'm not going to lie. I'm American. I'm just glad what does that say?
I'm glad we got a point.
I'm glad we got a point. Yeah, man. Big up the US. Yous are all muppets when it comes to... Not all. Some of yous are absolute wet wipes when it comes to your football and point of views. But when, the realistic American fans who know ball, they are just... They're cool, man. I've got a few American fans. When I speak to them about football, we just have a belter because it's so interesting when an American knows what they're talking about in football. It sounds just way more professional. Am I the only one who thinks this? And also, I think a point for the US is good. I know it was in the last moments and whatever have you. Wales haven't been in the World Cup for a long time, but I think it's good for the US to get that result. But we need to absolutely smash, because that's like a derby, innit? England, US. I think that'll be a good game, an exciting game. And the Wales game, I'm looking forward to the rest of the group stages. The Iran game, I kind of knew England were going to run over Iran. Now that we're playing Wales and US and stuff, I think, yeah, maybe that could be a really entertaining couple of games of football with just a lot of cool moments, which is why I like the World Cup, to be honest with you. But anyway, my winner of the World Cup, I think that's an interesting question. It's one that I've been getting asked quite a bit in recent days and weeks. And I think what I would suggest is Argentina, kind of an obvious one, not too exciting. Brazil, again, another less exciting, but still. But then the other 2 teams that I throw in is Germany. And also, I don't know why, I just have a little weird feeling about Holland. I think it's the Louis van Gaal factor, tournaments, and some of the players that they've got as well. I just think there's always somebody who's there to upset in a World Cup. And even though I wouldn't put all my money on Holland, I think to say that they're in the top 4 teams who can possibly win the competition is not a bad shout whatsoever. Let me know what you think. But Ed says again, we are a young team, average age is 24, so it's a building step for us. Ed, do you think the US ends up going to be being dead boss? Because you are right, you have got a young team. I know that you've got Kessie in midfield, who plays for Juventus, I believe. No, not Kessie. He plays for Barca. Who's the other fella? Many. Let me know, Ed. There's someone in the midfield for Juve who's American. I can guarantee you. Christian Pulisic, sound player. It's mad what happened with Christian Pulisic. He was like such a baller, and then no one likes him no more. And it's a weird thing with Christian Pulisic. But you've got him, you've got Pulisic. Who else have you got? And what? Oh, McKennie. I knew it was something any. You're on that. I knew it was any. No, he's an all right player. Pulisic as well. I know my mind's starting to draw a bit blank. But I know that they've got a few decent players. I'm not even trying to disrespect the US. Tyler Adams, he plays for Leeds. He's a good player. This is what I mean. They've got like a bunch. I think the US in a couple of years could be a really decent team. I do. I just think also there's an element where when you get a Pulisic or a Tyler Adams, there is a potential for them to be overrated because the American market is so small when it comes to superstar footballers. I think the prime example is, I know it was a meme, but Pulisic being compared to LeBron James of football. I think that just shows how little quality the US has been producing recently. But they have got good examples of Clint Dempsey, Donovan as well. Now they're bringing in a few more players. Let's see how they shine, man. Because I think like a good US team that's popular in America, I think that makes football a better sport. Forget the ownership side in America in most instances. I just think when it comes to the actual getting their fans on board, yet they're going to try and Americanize it, but it can create like quite a tribal thing of them versus us. And I just think that's fun. I think football has been built off of rivals and tribalism, and not like tribalism, like a minimal tribalism to where it's like Liverpool fans versus Everton fans and team versus team, country versus country. And in this instance, I think if the US got better, it'd be unbearable, but that's why it'd be more exciting and people would be more inclined to tune in. Shout out to Mark Simons or Simons, if you want to give the French version. What do you think about signing no one in January because we are going to be sold? First of all, don't know. It's hard to talk about being sold because we don't know if FSG have got something already done. We don't know if they are planning on doing it this season, next season. If they are going to do it in 2 years' time, Mark, they have to spend because they have to keep Liverpool as good as they can so they can sell Liverpool for the most money they can. I would only assume as a non-football club owner that the difference of a team being in top four and let's say eighth, that's got to be a big difference when it comes to value. That could be the difference of the club was valued at $4.5 billion by FSG. That could be the difference of $4.5 billion to $4 billion, which still a lot of money. But still, I still think that's something that FSG will take into consideration because they're not just going to sell Liverpool and go off into the sunset. They've got future investments that they want to make and they want to keep it ticking over. And I think to keep Liverpool at the top, unless they sell Liverpool right now, which, yes, Mark, probably means we might not get any January signings. And therefore, that means we're going to have to wait for the next owners to come in, invest the money, and then we have like a big summer, let's say. But if they're selling them in a couple of years' time, they have to spend, they have to go out in January and look at the options. And, you know, that's why I just think, if you said to me right now, will FSG spend? I think they have to. I just don't think they're going to spend as much as the fans would like. I don't think it's going to be a big name that comes in January. Just someone to help out that squad. I'd be astounded if we never brought in a midfielder with the Arthur injury. Oxlade is going to be leaving. Milner's going to be leaving. Keita's going to be leaving. Well, there have been the rumours. I think that would make a lot of sense if they'd left as well, to be honest with you. And that's why we need to bring in new recruitment because we've got Curtis Jones, who's just signed a new long-term contract, by the way. What do you think about that? I'm okay with it because we need options in midfield. And if we're going to be selling Keita, Ox and Thiago, Keita, Ox and Milner, probably Thiago soon with the fact he never fucking plays, then we can't be selling all of them. So Curtis kind of has to stay, but he can't be a starter. That's why I can only see us going out in January and getting a midfielder. Not to mention Arthur's injury. That's 4 midfielders who were out, who were not available. And that's why we can't risk going into the rest of the season, tarnishing the chances of top 4 just because we wanted to be, just because we thought we could do it with what we've got. Confirm top 4, guarantee it, and just get someone in who's going to be that temporary option who can tick us over because we're not going to be able to get a Jude or a big player in January. Let's just say that. Tyler Adams, Aronson is going to be a baller. Yeah, Leeds have been getting a few of those American ballers, haven't they? Shout out to Lewis Hall. Top 3 places prediction for the World Cup. I'm going to say Argentina. No, I'm going to go Brazil. Argentina. And then Germany. Ed says, to keep its worth, got to keep proving it's worth the price. Yeah, true, Ed. Shankly says, thoughts on Nunes. I gave me thoughts on Nunes earlier. Like Nunes. Nunes is sound. Very passionate motherfucker. And I like that. I like someone who just goes for it, doesn't speak a word of English, scores goals, and he has a belt of personality. That's been my favourite thing about Nunes so far. I just like how passionate he is. I think when he comes on the pitch, he just oozes that energy, and he does boost the atmosphere, which I'll be honest with you, as a fan who is an avid goer to the Anfield games, I'm fine with that. I am down with that wholeheartedly. Jacob, what does that comment say?
We spent money on Arthur. I can't see it now after them using
the old Michael Ashley. So yeah, we spent money on Arthur. I see it now. Them you announce on sale before buying windows. Maybe you can't compare FSG to Mike Ashley. Sorry, much different levels on the scale. And let's be honest, FSG have done a lot more for Liverpool than what Mike. And this is someone who's not a big fan of FSG. They've done a lot more for this club than what he did for that club. Mike Ashley was a terrible owner, and it's because he never only invested, he just did not align with any culture that Newcastle had to offer. And when I say FSG don't align with the culture of what Liverpool have to offer, I talk about the ticket prices. I talk about trying to get Liverpool copyrighted. I talk about on top of it, I talk about it. What else do I mention? I always talk about the Super League as the main thing, and why wouldn't he want to try and create that again if he really cares about the integrity of football and the club? And that's my thing with FSG. To compare them to Mike Ashley, for me, is a little bit crazy. I'm not going to lie, but I sort of see where you're saying there, Mark. But yeah, Arthur was very much let a plaster on a wound that's massive, and it just weren't a good enough plaster, and now we need someone much better. And I agree. I think Arthur was just the easy way out, but financially, it was definitely the most viable thing for the team, with the fact that we still hadn't got rid of Ox, Keita, Milner. But if you knew you were getting rid of those players, I suppose you could afford to bring someone in. But hey, I'm not the guy who pays the wages. Argentina just lost to Saudi Arabia. Might need to pick top 3. Did Argentina just lose to Saudi Arabia? Shout out to Saudi Arabia, man. The fucking belter team of football. Shout out to Saudi Arabia getting all the fucking the upsets in the World Cup. That's brilliant. Well done, sir. If there's any Saudi Arabia fans, which I don't know why you would be tuning in on a Liverpool channel when your team's just got the biggest upsets, probably in your World Cup history, but well done to you, because that's dead boss. And that's great. And that's why I love the World Cup. I wish I watched that game. That would have been an amazing moment seeing full time. What's the next comment, Jacob?
Should Firmino get a new contract? Not a 2-year. He should get a new contract, not a 2-year contract. I think a year extension with a year option. So yeah, what I mean is he's got the rest of this season. Give him next year and give him an option to extend another year. Instead, they've done 2 years and extend another year as an option. So I just think that's a bit too long. But do you know what? I don't hate it. You don't have to be perfect, Liverpool. You don't have to do exactly what I want you to do. I'm just happy we got him on a new contract, because again, we're going to be seeing a lot of players go. Firmino's one of the loyal stays. He's one of the legends. You've got to keep Firmino, in my opinion, wholeheartedly. What's that next one? Big up, James, bro. Do you think Messi fans are crying right now? As a Messi fan, a little bit. I don't like Messi losing. I'm not going to lie. Besides against us, he can fucking lose all day against us all he wants. But I like Messi. And I really want him to win the World Cup, especially above Ronaldo. It's just because if Ronaldo wins the World Cup and Messi doesn't, Ronaldo fans will have such great ammo to suggest that Ronaldo is a more historic figure than Lionel Messi, which is not true at all. And he's certainly not a better footballer than Lionel Messi. I'm surprised that's ever a conversation. One gets goals, one's a much better all-rounder player. Both are great at their own things. It's just annoying that you have to compare them, because to make a point across, this is a thing that humans do. To get your point across, you've got to diminish the opposing's point of view. You've got to diminish their point, even though you're not trying to say their point shit and they don't know what they're talking about, whatever have you. It's just, you've got to make them sound shit. And that's why people think that I don't like Ronaldo, which is not the case at all. I do like Ronaldo. I think he's great. I think he is literally like the LeBron James of football, or I don't know, like whatever you want, the MJ of football, whatever you want to say. I don't care. Whatever suits your fucking boat and whatever. I suggest Messi's better, and that's factual. And I am so surprised to this day that that's still a conversation.
Speaking of Ronaldo, what do you think of the Ronaldo interview Edwin asked?
Okay. So the good old Ronald interview. I think it was bad. I don't think it's ideal for him. I don't think it's a good example to set. He exposed the owners to a degree. Not really, though. He never told the United fans anything they didn't know already. So it was hard for the United fans to be like, oh, Ronaldo's on our side. He wants Glazers out. And he's doing it at the complete wrong time. Like, United are playing the best football that they've played in years, which is obviously not that much of an achievement because they're still fifth and they've been shit in recent years. But I still do believe that Ten Hag is going to build something decent there. I think he started that process quite well. I would suggest that it was wrong. The only reason why I'm a little bit on the fence about it is because I'm sure there's things that United have done that's seedy. I think they've told Ronaldo when he's came back, you're going to be the star of this club. And when you tell someone something and don't fulfill that, that is going to cause disconnect because you've broke a promise. And that's where I can understand Ronaldo's frustration. Now, does that still take away that he could just be deluded and thinks that he's better than what he actually is? Now, very, very possible. But statistics is the main thing in football nowadays. I don't listen to it, but the fans do. And because the reason why Ronaldo has got 500 million followers on Instagram, and the reason why he's the most well-known footballer in the world is on the premise that he's got the numbers, he's got the records. He said it himself, I don't follow the records just follow me. And that's great. That's brilliant. And he definitely uses those records to nullify how shit he might be now. But if you've been told by a club or an employer, I'm going to give you this, and this is going to be your role in this setup that we're trying to, and you don't get that fulfilled, I can understand frustration. So I can understand if United haven't filled their obligations to fulfill Ronaldo's needs, then why would Ronaldo do the same thing? If any, and if you're breaking rules, why can't he break rules and go on an interview? You get what I mean? But I think there's probably a little bit of, two sides to the story. United have done a few things dodgy. Ronaldo just needs to realise he's not that guy no more. And I think he would have been much better off accepting he's not that guy, being a part of whatever United is right now. Try and win a trophy at your time there. Even if it's a League Cup, just leave on that positive note with the fans and then go in your next adventure. When you didn't leave in the summer, that's when you committed to United Football Club for the remainder of the season. But it's evident that he's not happy with the way he's being treated, and United don't want him no more. Therefore, he's pushing a move out the club. Can you get that next comment up as well, Jacob?
Yep.
Jamie. I don't get why some people call me Jamie. I don't mind it. It just makes no goddamn sense because no one's ever called me Jamie. Besides, like the people on YouTube and whatnot.
J-Dog.
Jamie Plus, I have been supporting you since 2017. Since that man is the best player in the world, big up yourself, Noah. And you make me get through my mental health. And plus, I am a gooner. Noah, that's boss. Myself, I was telling Jacob just before we started, I've had a crazy few weeks when it comes to mental health. And I don't know, I've had this sort of thing over the past year where I think, like, if you have 2 arms, 2 legs, you can get up and you can at least give yourself the best possible chance of happiness, which is going out and doing the things that's going to make you happy, training more, getting out there and doing the work that you need to do. And it's not about it being easy, but it's about when you do sit down at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and you're like, fucking hell, that was a hard day. But you get that sort of boost of adrenaline because you've done things you didn't want to do. I think the constant amount of getting into positions or situations that are uncomfortable is what combats poor mental health mostly. And it's what I encourage, but sometimes even I don't do it perfectly, Noah. And that's why I, like you, tune into some of my favorite content creators and try and get that temporary release that doesn't require me to get up and do a bunch of fucking sit-ups, you know what I mean? I like that temporary release, and I'm just glad over here on the Kop TV, me, Rubi, Alex can do that for you. And Noah, you said that you're a fan of since 2017. I would assume you subscribe to James Redmond TV, otherwise you're a liar. But nah, genuinely, no, I think it's boss that you tune into my channel. That makes me feel better about myself. It makes me think I'm doing something right. So the fact that you're tuning in saying stuff like that only means I want to encourage you to do well. And not just because you're saying nice things to me, it's just because I want to see loads of people doing well. A lot of people don't hit the potential that they have the potential to hit. And it's a shame based on the limits that are set in this world, but they can be exceeded, they can be beat. So no, I keep going, my mate, and I'm sure that you're going to absolutely smash it. What's that next comment from? Goodall Stanley Poo. Shankly, sorry, I keep seeing it as Stanley from here. Mane was robbed of the Ballon d'Or. He wasn't. He wasn't. Let's be honest. I love Mane, and he deserves second, but he never deserved first. Benzema was definitely the winner of that Ballon d'Or, no doubt. Salah could have had a shout if he actually carried on being boss. Never carried on being boss whatsoever. So there you go. What's the next comment? LFC rejected Ronaldo, who was an admirer of LFC, but we wouldn't pay 12 million for him. So went to Whiskey Nose instead. The rest is history. Yeah, here's a question. Would Ronaldo, if that is true, would Ronaldo have had as good as a career if he went to Liverpool opposed to United? I think it would have been similar, but I don't think it would have been significant, is what I will say. I don't think it would have been significant in an aspect of really improving us, if that makes sense. But obviously at the time, it would have improved us. I mean, I don't know how much it would have improved his career and his chances of being successful. Like, would have he has won as many Premier Leagues while he was at United? At Liverpool? Probably not, because we never had as good as a team as Man United, so it makes a lot of sense. Invite Rory, the living legends, at the studio. Rory is a living legend. I love myself a bit of Rory, and I can't wait to see him when the games are back. He's a fucking hero, and he makes my life like very happy when I see him on the fan cams and I watch them. Go and tune into the Rory fan cams if you haven't already. Guys, we've literally got like 2 minutes left. So if you've got any questions that you want to get in before we round up the stream, definitely do that. Want to remind you of the sponsorship of this podcast, which is Flux. So go in the description down below. Click the link. Get yourself some beautiful club like this hat. You can get yourself some shirts, shorts, trackies, whatever the fuck you need during these winterish, colderish, Christmassy times. Also a gift. If you want to get a gift for people, go for that. Or you can go for Foco, which is our other sponsor as well. It looks like we're getting no questions. I tried to talk and ramble to see if we could get a few questions in. Jacob, do you have any questions for me?
Not particularly, mate.
Not particularly. Not even like how me day's been, or
I mean, it's
midday,
so it's quite limited as to how your day.
It is limited to how my day could have been. I'll be honest, my day's been very, 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 very average, but much better since I came in here. Good. You feel me?
What about after this? What are you doing after this?
After this, I am going to be going home. I'm going to be planning the videos that I'm going to be posting tomorrow, because I'm returning to my channel tomorrow.
How many do you post a week on your channel?
I post since I coming back to YouTube, between about 7 and 10 videos. So now we're going to be going back tomorrow. Every week. Lads, I'm a bad motherfucker. When I'm on form in YouTube, I'm a serious man. Last couple of calls. Look at us getting a few comments as we're about to leave, Jacob. Let me get through these dead quick, because we have to wrap up in a sec. James, mate. As an Arsenal fan, when Liverpool were crap, like how Arsenal have been crap, did you generally hate football? No, because I love Liverpool. I love the culture. I will always support my club through the good and the bad times. And I think the bad times set up the really, really good times. So when you go through such a long period of shitness and then you get some good football, that's boss. Because you're like, whoa, this is proper different. And I've went through years and years and years of finishing 8th and shit like that. But then you get back to the top. Arsenal have got a whole nother era of fan base that haven't seen their team be successful. So I think the bad times set you up for the good ones, and the same in life. The good moments wouldn't be as good without the bad times. If we were just winning leagues year in, year out, you get used to it eventually. It'd still be nice, but you get used to it. And now I think when you do get one every couple of years, or hopefully we don't do 30 years again. Please don't do that, Liverpool. But I just think it's good to compete. I think football's about competing, and Arsenal are now back there. Mark says, how do you feel about Molly McCann getting beat? Devoed, dead quick on that. I just thought the UFC gave it a very high caliber opponent. Not that Molly couldn't beat her. I just think if it got to the ground, it was going to be a mismatch. But Molly's a keen motherfucker. She'll fight anybody. She'll be back. She's a huge star. I just think if you gave her the right stylistic matchup, she'd have been 2 fights away from a title fight. That's the way I saw it. They could have done a really good business thing there, but get her on the London cards. People are going to be buzzing, including my fucking self, because she, in my opinion, probably one of the more entertaining female fighters in the UFC. Why are you talking about the Prem now? I'm not talking about the Prem. Oh, I don't know why I was talking about it's a fucking football show, so I can talk about what I want. Afternoon, Red. Shout out to Antico. Saudi. Talk about the World Cup, mate. I've talked about the fucking World Cup, so if you rewind, then you can do that. Guys! Oh, what a show. What a show. Did they do a good job?
Fantastic.
That was proper solo. That was like Coutinho back in the day carrying Liverpool. You know what I mean? My back is killing me. But, guys, go Kop TV 15% flux. Foco, get loads of toys, ornaments, Liverpool-related stuff. Christmas is around the corner. Let's have a cheers. Smash a like on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And keep an eye out on this channel, my channel, James Redmond TV. There's some more juicy content. And on that note, me and good old Jacob, we'll see you all later.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stands, for a lot more Liverpool content.
Remember to check out our Shopify store for this beauty and much more. It's the new Luchito's Way Diaz t-shirt based on Luis Diaz and Carlito's Way. It's out now, designed by Rubi.
And there's going to be so many more.
There is. Make sure you're involved. Go and buy this now and use the Kop TV 15 for a little discount if you want.
Liverpool fans, listen up. This is something for you.
So, we are sponsored by Foco, manufacturing much better toys than what Liverpool are performances at the moment. But as you can see, if you want to support your team in a very fun and glorious way by having these cool little ornaments and toys, or if you have a family member or friends who are Liverpool crazy, this is the perfect gift for them.
Water bottles, nodding heads, dogs, we've got it all.
Hier again, lad, next to me bed.
Make sure to use the link in the description now. Head over to Foco and use the Kop TV discount code to get 15% off. You can't go wrong. You need Foco in your life.